Hello and welcome. Today you see me in a rather strange attire. These are parts of 14th century dress, and I brought it to the dojo today to try out a very specific item of historical costume and see how it behaves in fencing, namely braies. And these are medieval underpants. Now, medieval underpants like these, as you can see, they're really bulky. There are many folds. There are plenty of depictions of braies, or in German Brüche, in historical manuscripts. And there has been some discussion about why they look the way they do. Now, there have definitely been some braies that have been sewn, that have been stitched, like very wide boxer shorts with tunnel stitching on top, and then you just pulled them tight, and hence you had all these folds and wrinkles, and you can fold up or roll up the leg parts as you see fit. If you are wearing hose, that is medieval pants, rather two hose that go over each leg and are then tied to the braies by means of laces like these. So if you're wearing hose, you would unroll this and put it into the hose. But the interesting thing with this one is that it's actually a loincloth. So these are not stitched. This is a huge loincloth. It's basically the theory of a reenactor and historian, a Finnish guy, Jani. Oh God, I forgot his name. Sorry, I will insert it in the video later. So Jani said that it doesn't really make much sense to him that these underpants were so huge. Later in the Middle Ages, in the 14th and particularly in the 15th century, they became a lot smaller because then dress became tight-fitting and they wouldn't wear these long robes anymore, and rolled up braies like these would show under the tight-fitting, snug-fit costume. And then suddenly they developed underpants that are stitched and small and snug fit. So why not any earlier? And why would you come up with these bulky underpants? So he said it's probably just a loincloth, and he derives the name braies from a Latin term which means rolled. And I wanted to give his theory a try and try these out in fencing. And this is what I did tonight. So for 3 hours we were fencing with these underpants, and as I said, this is just a loincloth held together by one woven braid, and they held up really nicely. So after a 4-hour training session, one leg has unrolled, so it's hanging down here. The other one is still up. I want to show you one picture of farmers, peasants, showing those breeches in various states. Now, before I do that, take a look at this pewter emblem. It's a rather small one. A bit of an obscene depiction with 2 women here, and an erect member here, and there used to be one here, supposedly, so you can still see the balls, the rest is broken off. And what I want to direct your attention to are those breeches, and they are apparently a stitched model. So here's a tunnel stitching for the belt, for the string to tie them and lace them and pull them tight, and then these are the leg parts, and the middle section would produce all these folds and wrinkles. Now here on the other side, on the other page, you see a depiction which is from the 13th century. It's from the famous Maciejowski Bible, and here you have these farmers, and you can see that this guy here, he's wearing these hose that I was talking about earlier. On the other side here, you can see surviving hose from a Spanish grave. What is really important is they are tied, they are laced to the belt, to the string of these braies. Now these braies here on the other side, they don't really look like the one that we saw in the pewter jewellery, in the pewter emblem, which is 14th century. So this is 13th century, and you can see that he definitely has some different kind of pattern. The folds up here around the belt, they are so fat, that doesn't really look like tunnel stitching. It does look as if cloth has been rolled. And this down here, see one corner of the trouser is tied to a string, and the string in turn is laced to some belt that we don't see. That wouldn't make much sense if we had braies like these. Plus, there are depictions where you can see breeches, apparently stitched breeches, and then you can see that some of them sport tunnel stitching, even down here, just at the very hem of the leg part, and they are tied there, and this up here is something different. Now, if we take a look at the model that I'm wearing, so you see these are the underpants, and this is where it has opened. So this was the part that I had rolled up, and just like so. But here are the two corners of the towel, and I can actually pull up one such corner, either this one or fold it here, pull up the other one, and here where the belt is, the woven belt that I'm using, there are the laces which I would use for my hose, but I could also use them to tie this corner of the cloth. Yeah, so either pull this corner up or pull the other corner up, and then it looks very, very similar to what we saw in the period depiction. So there are many ways to wear these breeches, and they do have a lot of freedom of movement. The gentlemen don't have to be concerned if you feel the call of nature, because this is just a towel. You will find a way to your private parts and then push aside the edge of the towel and do what you have to do to relieve yourself, so you don't have to untie this whole towel. If you have to readjust, like say the hose are pulling down your pants, or while you are moving, the whole thing is moving, and you want to readjust, then all you have to do is roll the belt. You can see this already shapes it more into a form of pants just by rolling. See that? Same here. If you find this loses strength, just by rolling, it becomes tighter, and you can thus readjust the fit. Hope you enjoyed this special fencing show, and see you next time. Bye-bye.